Hello, guys. It's me, Butterfly Spirit 314. So, guys, what I wanted to do is let you know that I started step two ahead of finishing the Dance of Anger. Okay. So, for those of you who don't know, I've been reading a book about anger. And the reason is that I know that for me, anger happens to be a weakness. And so, what I've been doing is I decided that I would read a book called The Dance of Anger to help me to get a handle on how to better handle my anger in a more healthy and productive way. Okay. So, I'm almost through with my anger book, which is called The Dance of Anger. And the book, The Dance of Anger, is by the author Harriet Lerner, PhD. Okay. So, um, I'm on page 206 in my Dance of Anger book that I'm reading. And actually, the book is a New York bestseller, for those of you who are interested. Okay. And a lot of people have read that book. Nobody I know has read it. But one thing that I have been finding as I've been reading the book is that it's been super duper helpful for me. And it's really opening my eyes about things as far as anger is concerned. So it's really giving me more insight. Okay. And it's giving me more information about anger than I ever thought possible. And it's really helping me to see anger in a new way and to learn how to basically how to be more mindful of my anger and how to be, aware of, the things I can do when I'm angry. And so, for me, anger, it's a weakness that I've been working on and I've been making some progress. And my plan is, even after I finish the Dance of Anger, I'm still going to be taking the initiative to apply some of the things in that book. Okay. So now I did put the cart ahead of the horse. Okay. So what I was supposed to do is I was supposed to finish the Dance of Anger first and then move on to this book second. Okay. That's what I was supposed to do. But what I decided to do instead, guys, is I decided that what I'm going to do is I got this little push to start this book, The Dance of Connection. Okay. And the reason I'm reading the book, The Dance of Connection by Harriet Lerner, she's also the author of The Dance of Anger. The reason why I'm reading The Dance of Connection is because I know in the past I've struggled with being able to communicate effectively when I'm angry. Okay. So I don't know what it is. It's just that when I get really angry, okay, and I get, caught up in that emotion, what happens is, and I've, experienced this countless times, that I just can't, put my thoughts together. And in the Dance of Anger book, what I found out about that is that I found out that that is something that can happen with someone um, when they are, I'm going to say, when they are under functioning, okay, when it comes to anger. And there's other ways that people can underfunction and ways they can overfunction. But just because I may underfunction in one way, where, like, let's say I'm angry and I can't get my words out like I want to, just because I do that, it doesn't mean that I don't overfunction. Where, like, I may not try to, solve other people's problems, which will be overfunction, right? So, and we all do that, in some areas of our life we overfunction, in some areas of our life we underfunction. For me, I know specifically with my anger that I have a hard time getting out what I want to say. And what my goal is, through reading this book here, is that my goal is for me to be able to communicate clearly and effectively, where, no matter who I happen to be angry with, frustrated with, pissed off, from, okay, no matter why I'm angry, I want to still be able to communicate effectively. Okay. I want to be able to use my anger productively. And I want to make sure that I'm able to be strategic about, when I bring things up, okay? Rather than me just going and just whenever I feel like, just kind of just having a conversation with somebody and just kind of just going off from there. I want to be strategic. I also want to plan, and I want to be clear about the things that I say, because I know that, just yelling at somebody is not going to get them to do something. Just telling them to change is not going to get them to do something. You know what I mean? And, I want to break this cycle of me not being able to get through with a clear message about what I want and what I need and things like that. And that's what I want to do. I want to be able to be effective in that. Okay. And so this is why I'm reading Harriet Lerner's book, The Dance of Connection, because it's about how to talk to someone when you're mad, hurt, scared, frustrated, insulted, betrayed, or desperate. That's what this book is about. And this is going to give me more tools to add on top of the tools that I've learned in the Dance of Anger. Okay. And that's what my goal is. Okay. So I am going to be making videos about the things that I learned in this book. So far, in this book in particular, I have started reading it. Even though I'm not finished with the Dance of Anger, I still plan to be finished with the Dance of Anger by the end of the week, maybe, or maybe by the end of next week, I'll be done with the Dance of Anger. But so far in the Dance of Connection, I'm on page 14 right now. And something that I have found in this book is that so far, the author is talking about the fact that, just because a person can be, have communication skills or go through assertiveness training and all that, it doesn't mean that just because you could do that stuff, it doesn't necessarily mean that your message is going to come across clearly. Because there are sometimes where we don't know how to speak up. Sometimes, things we want to say falls on deaf ears. Sometimes we're afraid to say something, and the thing is that it's important for us to be able to understand what we want to say and be able to tell people. And, we want to be clear with that. And that's what I want to do. Okay. And that's what I'm going to be doing. Okay. So, yes, I'm going to be making videos about my progress in this new book that I'm reading. If I have anything like dealing with the Dance of Anger that, like, when I'm going over that, I'll make videos about that. Just things kind of pop in my head or any kind of light bulb moments or whatever happened. I'm going to be doing that. Okay. So, I'm being very transparent about the fact that, hey, I'm not perfect, but I'm still willing to work on weaknesses that I have in order to improve on myself. And I think that's something to be admirable for anybody out here, is to be working on yourself, because that is super duper whooper important, to work on your weaknesses. Because if you work on your weaknesses, eventually you can find ways to have strengths. Okay. And that's the important thing, and I know there's sometimes where I don't speak up on stuff, like at work, I may not really speak up or whatever. Now, thanks to Dance of Anger, I am like learning to sit in my anger. I'm learning to, realize that when something's really important to me and to take action to do things, and it's helping me be more clear about myself. It's helping me to understand, that my identity is not linked, specifically with somebody else's identity. You know what I'm saying? That I have my own unique thoughts and feelings and emotions and things, and it's okay to share those things. And I've learned also from the Dance of Anger that it's not a good idea to get in a cycle of non-productive fighting, just, having argument after argument and it goes nowhere. And then, just letting anger stack up and then you explode with anger and stuff like that. And you start blaming people, because when a person explodes in anger, that validates the other person's point of view of why they shouldn't listen to you. Okay. And so for me, I now understand that, and I've done that. I've been that person who, will just go off or whatever. And, and not really be thinking about the fact that I'm validating the reason that this person is not getting the message from me. You know what I mean? I've had times where, I've been told I was indecisive because I may say one thing and then I may say something else and not be really sure about where I stand on things because I may be afraid. But the thing is that I understand now it's okay for me to actually to be in touch with my emotions. It's okay. It's okay for me to have my own separate I, meaning my own separate self, and to say things, you know, and I don't have to blame people or yell at people or anything like that in order for me to be able to communicate what I need to say. Okay. And the thing is that, I'm making progress every single day. And, whenever I think of something, guys, I like to share it because I want people to know that you don't have to get stuck in this non-productive cycle of being angry and frustrated, and not getting your point across. You can actually, have something that works for you. Now, working with anger does it's a process. This isn't something where you just read a book, read a couple of pages, and you do that. This is about really sitting down, thinking about it, thinking about how you can make changes, okay? And making those changes to get more clear about yourself. And through getting more clear about yourself and things, that's going to help you connect better with other people, and also help you listen. You know what I mean? So, as I said before, guys, I started this book, The Dance of Connection. I'm going to be finishing The Dance of Anger. Um, I'll be finishing that maybe the end of this week. Who knows? Um, but whenever I finish that book, I'll get around to it probably the end of this week because I've been just had this push to do it. So anyway, I'm gonna continue to make progress, continue to push forward and stuff. It's like rolling a giant, it's like rolling a giant like stone, like 200-ton like boulder up a hill or whatever. But you know what? I'm willing to take the initiative that's necessary to do what it is I'm trying to do. And I know I'm going to see results, and I'm already seeing results so far. I'm already am. It's just me taking the time. And one thing I learned from my Dance of Anger book, when it comes to change, it's important not to rush and make a change. It's important to take your time and make a change. Because if you try to rush and make a change too fast, you won't change at all. And so I have to remind myself of that because that's one of my notes that I wrote for my Dance of Anger book. So that is specifically, like that's something I'm doing. It's changing every day. I'm taking the initiative to change a little bit, and think about things differently than how I was, doing it. And you know what the thing is that my goal is to show up differently, to show up in a way where, not only do I respect myself, but through respect for myself, I can also respect other people. You know what I mean? And so for me, that's what's important right now. Okay. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate the person who got it popped in. Thank you so much. For those of you who end up viewing this video later, thank you for watching. And I want you to know it's not impossible to be mindful. It's not impossible for you to get a handle on your emotions. You don't have to be in a non-productive cycle of arguing and fighting and stuff. You don't have to do that. You don't have to lose yourself, in situations. It's okay to be yourself and it's okay to speak up. Even if you take little bits of time to work towards working on a change that can improve yourself, go for it. Okay. So thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye bye.